We are counting down to when Nigerians will elect their representatives. It's exactly 29 days to the Presidential National Assembly elections, 43 days to the governorship and state assembly elections, and just 3 more days before the deadline for the collection of PVCs after INEC extended the exercise by 1 week. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Well, different political parties have continued to push their messages to the very people they are hoping will vote for them. At least 93 million voters are up for this election, and 2 things may work against voter turnout this time: the state of insecurity and voter apathy. The question is, what is the state of mind of many Nigerians today? The mood on the streets suggests that Nigerians are contending with a number of issues that may be the deciding factor on election day. The endless petrol queues have continued and have returned, with many making a killing by hiking the cost per litre. Roads leading up to filling stations are blocked as traffic tail back for as far as the eye can see. Well, there's the issue of the Naira, which is yet to regain its value, and the inability to purchase forex, which is putting pressure on imports, businesses, and private individuals. The cashless policy has inflicted more harm than good to the man on the street, who argues that financial inclusion has not filtrated down to the grassroots, just as the infrastructure to enhance the principles of the policy have proved to be somewhat ineffective. As we speak, some banks are still dispensing old notes, even as the Apex Bank maintains that the date for this new policy to come into effect is sacrosanct. Let's begin with this report from Kwara that looks at the issues and the mindset of Nigerians 29 days before election day.
Many bank customers beseech banks in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, to withdraw money either at the ATM points or inside the banking hall.
There have been complaints by many Nigerians about the inadequacy of the new Naira notes at the ATM points and banking halls. And this explains why officials of the Central Bank of Nigeria are going around some commercial banks in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, to monitor the situation reports.
Officials of the Ilorin branch of the Central Bank of Nigeria are here to feel the pulse of the people, and they do not hide their feelings.
Nigeria currently, I don't think cashless policy will fit Nigeria. I urge the government to help us to extend the deadline, because this at first I don't think it's very impossible for Nigerians to meet up the deadline.
But the CBN insists that the deadline would not be extended, asking Nigerians to take advantage of the remaining days to do the needful.
We encourage people to make sure that right from now, from this moment, they should take all their money or whatever they have to their banks for deposit. They shouldn't wait till the end of the day, the 31st of January. They should make sure that from now, they should take their money, because there's not going to be any extension.
Apart from exchanging notes in the banks, the Apex Bank says it has also made available cash swap to allow those in the rural communities swap their old currencies for new ones.
That is cash swap, to enable people with something like 10,000 to exchange their money. That is another policy that came out for those that doesn't have an account and they have little money with them, especially the people in the rural areas, so that they can exchange this money.
As at 11 in the morning, the money in these banks' automated teller machines had finished.
This is the money that they gave us, new notes. But the problem now is that I don't think the bank is having much to dispense out, and the poor masses will suffer for it. You can see many people here, they wanted to, but they are not dispensing. If the central bank said they have given much money, let them enforce it on them to bring money out.
The newly redesigned Naira notes were introduced by the CBN to control the amount of money in circulation, check counterfeiting, lower inflation rates, and discourage ransom payments.
Well, while lawmakers are insisting that the CBN should postpone this policy by 6 months, the Apex Bank is saying that the January 31st date for deadline is sacrosanct. The mood on the streets may be one of frustration and anger, but what will this mean so close to polling day? We also spoke to a cross-section of Nigerians about what they feel as regards the lingering fuel scarcity.
A country that has crude oil in excess, and we are now suffering for the fuel. It's a pity.
Yesterday, I bought 340 yesterday. And then we are using the fuel to carry the passenger. Our passenger are complaining.
Be queuing for about 2 hours to buy fuel now. 2 hours to buy a fuel. On the normal day, we should just enter the filling station and get your fuel.
It's too much. We have been here since morning, and they are not attending to us. It's only those people that they know that they drive their car in. So we are suffering, and they are not looking at us.
I slept here like twice. I came here, I thought that I even came early, not knowing that the queue will still have to form an L to this place.
Just like Henry, other motorists share their bitter stories.
I've not been sleeping. I slept around 12 and I woke up 4 o'clock just to meet up. And meeting up, I got here, look at where the queue is.
Joining us now to discuss the many issues facing Nigerians as they decide who their elected representatives will be is public affairs analyst Femi Lawson. Mr. Lawson, thank you for joining us on the program. So look at the issues. There's first scarcity, there is inflation, there is a cashless policy that is due in a few days. Do you consider this development strange in a pre-election month?
It's not strange, but it's a development that has called for serious concern, and I think every Nigerian must be concerned that for months now, what we thought was going to be the normal, fuel scarcity that we've experienced in the country, which sometimes lasts for days or weeks, have extended into months now. And unfortunately, it is extending to a very crucial moment in the nation's history, because in less than 30 days, Nigerians are going to be going to the poll to elect new leaders. And this is a very strategic national responsibility for us as Nigerians. And what ordinarily should make it easier for Nigerians to participate in this very crucial process is becoming a thing that is becoming an impediment. What is happening now has not only become a major economic issue for the average Nigerian, it is also having its impact on our political development as a nation. And that is why, if you look at the situation on the street today, it's already impeding preparations for the elections. When you look at the fact that a lot of people can no longer go and spend time trying to get the permanent voters card. A lot of people cannot even embark on political campaigns as it should, especially the candidate for lower positions.
There's also the position, Mr. Lawson, as to how this would also perhaps be issues ahead of the election and want to make some people decide to go and vote.
Well, it's going to be a major issue. It's going to be part of those factors, that may determine how Nigerians will vote, because remember that as we speak, a particular political party is in the saddle, and it is expected that government should be responsible in circumstances like this, especially when you look at the fuel situation, you look at the issue of the currency swap, that is also becoming a major issue of concern, not only even to politicians or the people who are in the private sector, but even the ordinary Nigerians on the street. So these are issues that may form the referendum for our Nigerians to decide the next set of leaders that will be elected. And that is why, this current development may play critical roles in whatever the outcome.
Already, lawmakers have called on the NNPC Limited to do something as the single importer of the commodity, and we'll see how it goes, especially as we count down to the election. Public affairs analyst Femi Lawson, thank you for talking to us.
It's my pleasure.
And when we return after this break, 93 million registered voters, 176,846 polling units, and 18 registered political parties in the forthcoming election. But what should Nigerians be doing on election day? Stay with us.